Hi there and welcome to Juicy Celeb Talks. Kamala Harris has recently stirred up some notable shifts in the political landscape, and it's only the first week. It feels like everyone is acting as if we're already 6 months into her campaign, but no, it's just the beginning. And guess what? She's already bringing out the big guns. Harris had a major event in Atlanta, and who else but our very own Megan Thee Stallion graced the stage. However, Kamala is now facing backlash for her choices. She's been twerking and spitting lyrics that some feel are inappropriate for a political event. People are unhappy with Megan's performance, and this could potentially impact the votes. On the other hand, Trump is reveling in this situation, mocking Kamala for the campaign she's been running. The political scene underwent a major shift when President Joe Biden announced his withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race, throwing his support behind Vice President Kamala Harris as his successor. This decision surprised everyone, including his top advisors, who were left in the dark until the public announcement. Biden's choice was driven by growing concerns about his age and recent poor performances in debates, which had prominent Democrats and major donors urging him to step aside. Biden's endorsement of Harris provided her campaign with a significant boost, helping to unify the Democratic Party around her candidacy. Key figures like Representative Jim Clyburn, who had been a strong supporter of Biden, quickly shifted their allegiance to Harris. This support was crucial in avoiding a potentially messy primary battle within the party, bringing everyone together and giving Harris a strong start in her presidential run. Kamala Harris, now the Democratic frontrunner, is receiving significant endorsements from celebrities and influential figures. Hollywood bigwigs and political heavyweights are backing her, giving her campaign a solid boost. Some of Hollywood's biggest stars have enthusiastically reacted to Biden's recent move. Barbra Streisand praised Biden, predicting he would be remembered in history for his achievements. Meanwhile, Robert De Niro, ever the political commentator, zoomed out to focus on the broader fight against Trump. Cher, in true fashion, expressed her mixed emotions, feeling sad but acknowledging that it was time to pass the torch. Cardi B, always passionate, was on fire, essentially yelling, "Let's go. I told you all Kamala should be the 2024 candidate." She revisited one of her hyped-up videos about Harris, urging her to keep running for president. Cardi felt that the time was right for Kamala, noting the lack of strong candidates in the race. She believed that this was the perfect moment for Harris to shine. Charli XCX also chimed in with a post declaring, "Kamala is in, short, sweet, and very much in Charli's style." Meanwhile, Jamie Lee Curtis wholeheartedly endorsed Biden's decision and Kamala's future run. She passionately vouched for Harris, expressing strong support for Joe Biden's decision to step down and enthusiastically endorse Kamala Harris. Curtis emphasized that Harris is trusted, tested, and a fierce advocate for women's rights and minorities. Her message, Curtis noted, is one of hope and unity for America. John Legend was direct in his praise, commending Biden's grace and positivity in stepping aside and expressing his readiness to back Harris. He expressed his excitement to support Harris and help unite the pro-democracy coalition to reject Trump's authoritarian agenda for 2025 and elect Kamala Harris as the next president. Legend emphasized that Harris is ready for this fight, and he is eager to assist her in any way he can. Overall, the stars are aligning, and Hollywood's heavyweights are all in for Kamala. However, not everyone shares this celebrity enthusiasm. Some people are criticizing Harris for relying too heavily on celebrity endorsements and questioning whether it's appropriate to mix showbiz with serious politics. Enter Megan Thee Stallion, who quickly jumped on the Harris bandwagon. Megan is fully on board with Kamala Harris's presidential campaign, and she showed her support by performing at a rally in Atlanta. This wasn't Megan's first collaboration with Harris. Back in March 2023, the two teamed up for a Women's History Month brunch in Washington, D.C., co-hosted by Harris and Glamour. At the Georgia State Convention Center, Megan took the stage, dressed in a blue pantsuit, and performed her Grammy-winning track Savage in front of a crowd of about 10,000. The song, released in 2020, features some strong lyrics that might not have been the best choice for a political rally. As Megan performed, dancers in matching outfits backed her up, setting the stage for Harris's appearance. The performance quickly went viral, but not for the reasons Harris's team might have hoped. Social media lit up with reactions, many questioning if the performance was appropriate for a vice presidential campaign. People commented that it wasn't a good look for Harris's campaign, calling it cringeworthy. Some remarked that this was not the behavior of serious individuals or a serious campaign. One person wrote, "The only way they could get the black community to show up for Kamala's rally was to bring in a name like Megan Thee Stallion. It's all for optics."
Critics argued that if you're hosting a campaign event, you should tell people what you plan to do for the country, lay out policies on the economy and dealing with illegal immigration. Twerking and celebrity performances, they said, are not a plan. They described the event as a circus that reflects poorly on Kamala's campaign, suggesting that it seemed like they were trying to appeal to black voters with hip-hop and twerking, assuming that's all they care about. Voters found this approach insulting and emphasized the need for clear policies and leadership, not performances that have no place in a political campaign. The video of Megan's performance was indeed awkward, with the crowd appearing stiff and out of place. It raised questions about what this says about the campaign's optics. Optics matter, and this didn't inspire confidence. The whole event was seen as a spectacle that reflects poorly on Harris's campaign, making it seem as though they're trying to appeal to black voters with hip-hop and twerking, assuming that's all they care about. This perception is offensive to many voters who want to see real policies and leadership, not performances with no relevance to a political campaign. If this is what Kamala thinks will win people over, it shows she's out of touch. Even former President Donald Trump couldn't wait to jump on the controversy, using it as ammunition in his campaign against Harris. True to form, Trump mocked Harris and her celebrity endorsements, attempting to portray her as disconnected from everyday Americans. His remarks resonated with his base, heating up the political battle between them. The Harris-Trump saga has been a relentless roller coaster, filled with sharp exchanges in debates and on social media.
Harris has positioned herself as the anti-Trump, emphasizing her accomplishments and vision for the future at every turn. Their debates have been fiery, with each side trying to land critical blows on the other's credibility. Trump isn't taking Kamala's rise lightly, he's hitting hard, and things are getting messy. The Trump team is going all out, branding Kamala as everything from a far-left liberal to a San Francisco radical. But it's not just name-calling. Trump is attacking Kamala's record with dogged persistence, focusing on her handling of the border crisis. He accuses her of being clueless and even labels her as malevolent. Trump's attacks are relentless, claiming that Kamala Harris's handling of America's borders is disqualifying for her to be president. He argues that someone who willingly allows dangerous criminals to prey on our youth and elderly should never be trusted with power again. He describes her as someone who has no idea what she's doing and labels her as evil. Trump's not alone in this smear campaign. His running mate, J.D. Vance, is right there with him, piling on the attacks and stirring the pot even more. Vance has been vocal in his criticism, making strong statements against Harris. He said, "We all know she's not MLK, just as Joe Biden was not Abraham Lincoln. We know she's a card-carrying member of the San Francisco crazy fringe. Right now, Kamala Harris is questioning my loyalty to this country." That's the word she used, loyalty. It's an interesting choice of words because there's no greater act of disloyalty to this country than what Kamala Harris has done at our southern border. Meanwhile, at Kamala's rallies, some observers feel the events seem scripted, not just her speeches but even the crowd's reactions. It feels like a call and response setup at times. There's even the occasional awkward attempt at a Southern accent, similar to Hillary Clinton's infamous moments. Barack Obama used to switch up his style too, but with Hillary, it often came off as painfully awkward. Kamala, while speaking to a crowd in Atlanta, chose to drop her usual speech style and adopt a more street tone, saying, "And y'all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. It's clear she's not from the South, and it shows. But let's set aside her mannerisms for a moment. The real question is, what is Kamala going to do as president? The media seems focused on promoting the Democratic agenda and protecting their interests. It's high time they stopped gushing and started grilling. Kamala has flipped on nearly every major position she's taken in the last 5 years. Just this past week, why isn't anyone delving into this? Kamala tried to connect with the young crowd by bringing Megan on stage, but it didn't help her.